Hi, this is Steve Mathis, and you're watching Pulpmx Classic Commentary, and I'm here with
Rich Taylor.
Rich. We're going to watch 95 Budds Creek, and you weren't here, but you were testing for Honda at the time.
Yeah, I laughed that I wasn't here because I think I hit pretty much every race that year except for probably this one, and we're doing commentary on it.
Yeah, and so there's a starting line shot of a Bradshaw, Todd DeHoop. Kudrowski's number 7. 11's Big Bird or somebody.
I think that's Larry.
You think
Larry Ward,
okay.
yeah,
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
And I don't know, it's Bruce Stratton, there's 72. This is the old start. Budds Creek goes up the hill.
Fisher, 74
I think
there.
that's Fisher.
Wow.
And basically, yeah. You know what amazes me, RT, is the crappiness of these old national tracks.
Michael, maybe. Yeah, they didn't groom them in between motos. A lot different than it is today.
And the gate drops right there. There we go.
That was Lewis there, 15, I think.
Yeah, probably, huh? And this is the old start, which comes up straight up a hill. And look at the dust.
It was funny, straight up. There's no starts like that now into a quick hairpin, and it was a short start. That's Stratton on the ground right there.
Yeah.
No way.
And there's Mike LaRocco, number 1, the defending champion. He's out front. This is his. You may not know this, RT, but this is his first race back after breaking his wrist or arm, and he just came right back out and grabbed the lead.
And look at him. He's on it. A little refreshed, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a Henry number 4, MC's number 3, Albie, Emig.
Albie with the 111.
Mm-hmm. Albie, when he came over, he was going to take over the world, right? I mean, Roger had bet on him, big on him.
I think everyone. He was the hype that year. Look at Factory Phil. Get that thing started.
Yeah,
We'll
two-stroke.
See if Albie can manhandle that old Suzuki around this track.
Yeah, and so you were a Honda R&D guy for production bikes, but you worked closely with the race team back in.
Yeah, back then I was doing all the production testing every day, man. Honda had us so busy. Honda is just an incredible company where they would just test and test and test, and they wanted the best no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the 2 weeks before this race, I was doing full-blown race team testing. It's pretty funny. The bike Henry's riding right here is a setting we came up with. Basically, the week before this race, we came up with a completely new kind of setup for the frame, suspension. Geometries might have been a little bit different on that bike.
So you're saying MC's on his 93 bike right here?
Yeah,
But,
MC wanted nothing to do with changing up. He liked what he had, and he would ride what we would come up with, but he always went back to his proven setup.
And Henry's riding the new settings, let's say.
Henry's riding a brand new setting at this race, and it was an awesome setting. I remember just getting on the bike and we came up with the settings, and it was so good. It was really good.
And what about this bike in particular, though, was a good bike, right? 95 CR250?
Oh, man. There was no better. These race team motors that these guys are using right here are incredible. And I mean, I can't even explain it. Today, I bet you could get on that bike and go just as fast. Any one of us average guys would go just as fast on it as any new 450 CRF or whatever.
Really? And there's Art Ekman interviewing Big Mike LaRocco, always a cheerful personality.
Yeah, let's
Big Mike.
see if he smiles at all.
Yeah, and there's Fro. Fro's starting to come into his own this year, more and more. And then right behind him is Albie, the 3-time world champion at this point. First year in America, kind of a train wreck, especially in Supercross.
Yeah, I don't know if he agreed with the bike so much. Back then, those RMs were a little bit of a handful. They were big and wide, and he was out to prove something, so he was giving it 110% everywhere on the track all the time. You can watch him. I bet he's all over the place.
And pretty good battle here for the top five guys going at it.
The fun thing to watch is Jeremy, man. He'll charge, but then he kind of just sits back and rides and kind of cruises and still goes as fast as everyone. And then he'll charge a little bit and pass somebody and then kind of cruise a little bit, it looks like. Yeah. He's just so fluid and it makes it look so easy compared to the other guys.
This was the year that he dedicated himself to outdoors, and he really wanted to win an outdoor title because everyone had been saying he was such a Supercross only guy, And there's another year in 95 here at Southwick. He just kills him. Southwick, In
the roughest area.
Yeah. So, but at this point, I could be wrong, but I believe Henry and MC were right in the points lead going at it. Like a couple points only separated them until what we'll see later happens.
They
But
were battling away.
it was those two guys that were going to go at it, and Fro was his usual. Like I said, he was coming under his own, but he was sort of wild, kind of sketchy out there in the track a little bit. There's Albie, right side up forks,
Right.
conventional forks right there.
Check the straight back action coming out of the corners, just full Euro style.
Yeah.
First year over here.
Look at LaRocco going at it, and
How about the dust? Look at the dust
Dude.
and the hard pack, almost blue groove.
I know.
It is.
You wouldn't even recognize it if you went back there today. Like all these national tracks have improved a ton. But on the other hand, the national tracks now are almost all the same soil. You really can stick with one tire. Whoa, Albie.
Albie, there's a surprise.
The tracks nowadays, they're all the same. So if you're good at that particular ruddy, damp soil, you're good everywhere. Here, you would have a track that was loamy, and then you would have a hard pack one and a sand one. It was just a little more.
It's a lot different back
Right.
then, for sure. I couldn't even imagine, what would Stewart say if he was coming from like 7th place and had to eat some of this dust, and what would he say when he got off the track, I wonder?
Yeah, I think he would say that he was out. He was not going to race.
He was Supercross only guy.
I remember looking at Fro squaring him up. Oh. No love lost between these guys back then either. They were going at it pretty good.
They battled, and then in the off season, I think they were buddies in the off season.
Yeah.
They probably did a few things that we don't even know about in the off season.
Getting back to, we rented Glen Helen one time, and it was probably 10 times better than this, and the guys went home. They went home. Reedy and Villeman went home. They were disgusted with the track, and it looked better than this right here.
Yeah.
And they went home. They were like, "We're not riding here."
We're over it.
Yeah. And I didn't know you could do that, but you could just, as a factory rider, if you didn't think the track was up to snuff, you just went home.
Oh, how times have changed.
Oh, I know, huh?
Yeah.
I know. And so now we got Albie, he always pinned it everywhere, huh?
Just wide open, That's why I say it was almost like he had something to prove all the time when he was on the track. The guy was so fun to watch because he gave it everything he had everywhere.
He fell off the back right there.
Yeah. There's no like cruising and kind of setting somebody up. It's just I'm going now and I'm going as hard as I can.
RT Brian Manley, 4.66.
Manley up there in 8th place right now.
Pretty good, right?
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I never really knew Manley was that good.
Manley was that good, though. He was a local Southern California pro who ripped, absolutely ripped out here. And he'd go to the Nationals. He'd go to the ones that he wanted to go to, and he was always running up front. He was an awesome starter, so he'd always be at the front of the pack. And then he was just a great rider. He'd hang in there, and he'd do good.
And also, too, this was near the end of the season, I believe, or halfway. Bradshaw had made his comeback, 114. And as a kid in Canada, I was like, "Hey, everybody, it's over. Bradshaw's back. Just everybody get used to seconds and thirds." He didn't really do it though, huh?
No. I think he realized, at about the 12-minute mark when your arms are a little pumped up and your stomach's maybe cramping. He's like, man, that time I took off was kind of fun. I think I'll just kind of finish where I need to finish and go from there.
Yeah, he never dominated again. Never came back to the guy that we remember.
No, and
at
it's
Albie.
a shame because he was insane to watch ride. Bradshaw was,
In his heyday.
He was
Yeah.
the man. His style and just everything about him was cool.
Look at Albie.
Albie flat tracking around the outside.
Two dangerous guys right here.
Look at him. He's off the track now. Oh, here comes Emig. Is Emig going to cross over on him?
Yeah,
Oh,
no. But he didn't get a chance to yet.
Yeah.
How do you remember doing this year on the Nationals? Do you remember having any great finishes?
Yeah, I actually had some good ones. I remember at, I think, Hangtown maybe. And, it's funny you were talking about Bradshaw. I remember having him. I was ahead of him, about 5 seconds ahead of him, and I had him marked on the track. And every lap, that was kind of my goal, was to stay ahead of him. That was probably his first race back, before he got in a little bit of race shape. But
So you were
I
pumped.
did all right that year. Yeah,
Right.
the next year, 96 is where I did pretty good. But yeah, 95 was a fun year.
And I just did a podcast with LaRocco, and I asked him about his favorite bike. I asked a lot of these guys favorite bikes. 95 Cowie 250.
Was it?
I guess because he wasn't on a Honda. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
He wasn't on a Honda, but yeah, 95 Cowie, man, that was it. He loved it.
That was a trick bike. Remember, they had the real gold Kayaba forks and all the works parts that were so cool looking.
Yeah, I had a 94 and it had a really good motor on it. Pulled strong, but Kardowski, first time we've seen him, and near the end of the Moto too. So probably not a surprise. He was a hard worker, hard trainer.
Yeah. That guy worked his butt off. He was always coming through the pack.
And Fro's going backwards. Like right now, you can see LaRocco, Henry, and MC have definitely gapped.
Yeah, it's just like the stereotypical, race. When you think about these guys back then, you think about the way they raced and what they did, and you can see it happening right now. Here comes Kudrowski, the hard worker.
Yeah.
Emig probably did nothing all week, and he's just such an awesome rider. He's up front.
Right.
He's just going to do what he does.
That was a big jump, huh? Back in the day?
That was huge. That jump, I remember when I raced at Bud's the first few years that it was even, a national, and that was like the biggest jump on the national circuit,
Yeah.
That was a big, giant uphill double that you just went for it and came up short. It hurt.
Yeah, really, huh? And it's funny because now they're going 2 and 1. I bet you now with 450s you might clear all 3.
Those guys are just, they launched the whole thing.
Basically, look at Henry's catching Mike a little bit. MC's right there. When you think about this era, like Henry kind of was right in the mix for a 250 outdoor title a few times, but just never got it done until late in his career, almost when he's on the 4-stroke.
Henry was amazing. He was always up there. He always was a guy that, you knew was going to be up front. Yeah, it was weird because even in the very beginning when he was riding Yamaha 125s in Supercross, it was, and traveling around with cats and dogs and stuff in his van, and you're like, Henry, and then sure enough, he'd be up front,
Right.
And it just kept getting faster
Cats
and
and
faster.
dogs.
That was him, man. He was just, a hard worker, awesome.
Pete Steinbrecher.
Steiny.
Yeah, you know all these guys really good, I guess, from just being around them, right? Him and his brother just kind of disappeared. Pete and...
I wonder where they're at.
Who's the other brother? Mark?
No. Come on.
Pete Steinbrecher and...
See, now you got me off guard.
I don't know.
His brother was awesome.
Yeah, and they just kind of disappeared. They were out.
They were from Texas, He used to work for Grayson Goodman. Maybe he's still working for the family or something. Oh, what do we got?
Oh, MX Kid.
Kid busted the bike.
Looking around. Something's up. Oh, yeah. Shane Nally, tuned. Yeah, he has dropped off the pace, as David Bailey's telling us right now. But these 3 are going at it. This is late in the Moto
race.
Yeah,
we're getting down towards the end.
Look at
Cliff Palmer in 7th place.
Bradshaw too coming up.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you think of Cliff Palmer?
Oh, Palmer was my buddy, man.
Was
I used
he?
to live with him. We both lived at Cooper's house in Oklahoma. Oh, watch this. Look at the quick pit stop. Think any of those guys would do that today?
Well, we saw what happened at Anaheim 1 with a broken wheel.
Yeah, straight on the first lap even, and it was straight back to the pits.
Right.
Yeah.
Are they done? Wait, did I miss something? Why are they taking it off the stand, back off the stand again? Oh, I guess we must have missed something there.
That was. Oh, Brian Lunas.
Albertine ran into him. That's the diagnosis from Lunas.
Look at Looney talking out of the side of his mouth.
Yeah.
Pretty serious.
Yeah, those are cool Oakleys too back then.
Yeah.
You were
don't smile.
No, I know, huh?
This is a serious deal.
But so were you? I had to ask if you're going to talk about Palmer. Were you around when some shenanigans were happening? Were you there? Were you there? Were you wrapped into that?
I used to hang out there a lot. Palmer was awesome. He, hard worker.
Oh, I know.
That kid ripped too. He always got good starts, and another guy you would never think would be a top guy, and he always was.
Yeah, stronger
Always
nationals than
really
Supercross.
But you know what? When he was factory KTM, he was making every main. He finished national number 10 or something one year.
Really?
10 or 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just
He
one of
was
those guys
of
that
the
like
dudes.
how crazy of an achievement that is, and then he kind of just disappeared. Like like history hasn't treated Cliff Palmer well. You don't remember him that way, but
Yeah, oh, look at we got Henry's gonna
what's
talk
he gonna?
about the bike that he's riding, maybe.
Yeah, with your settings. So when you develop settings, and MC would get a chance to try it.
Yeah,
and just
he'd try it, and he was so cool too, because he'd be like, yeah, it's pretty good, but he'd always go back to his deal. He knew what he could win on, and
Right.
he wanted nothing to do with anything else, really.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But Henry was awesome. He'd go and ride it and work with you on it,
Yeah.
and make sure it was good. And
He wouldn't strike me as that type of guy. He would strike me more as a ride it, pin it, and ride it guy. Like get on and.
yeah, he was, but he also wanted to work at it. He was, Doug was awesome. He was a lot different than a lot of the guys. There's guys out there that could ride Hodakas and still do really good. Some of these
Right.
top guys are just amazing. It doesn't matter what setting they have; they just haul ass.
Right.
And he's probably similar to that type of guy. I'm sure he could fly on anything, but he also was into it and wanted to make it the best he could.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, because I would think he'd be the other type of guy, but MC's on him here. He's pressuring him, and
This is gnarly
I
right
think
there.
we're going to see something coming up soon. That's going to be an indication of how this went for Doug. But it's crazy how these guys. This has got to be the 20-minute mark, 25-minute mark, and they're still going at it.
Still,
Yeah.
Where's LaRocco's kind of checked out a little bit? Is
Ah,
that
he's-
him up front? Did we
Yeah,
see?
he's right. No, you can see him. This is coming into the back section here of Buds, and just a series of off cameras right there. I believe is where Tim Ferry passed Steve Ramon at Motocross the Nations. This is the far back corner right here. Yeah, exactly. Far left corner, right there.
Yeah, they're coming up to this big uphill double right here. When they first made this, 125 guys couldn't even jump it.
Really?
It was the
Yeah.
Actually, we were on 500s when we would first raced at Buds for the Nationals.
125s would go single.
Single, and 500 was all you had.
Really,
It
huh?
was the jump on the track that you would think about, the whole way around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'd be like, oh no, here comes that jump. What am I going to do?
Really,
It
huh?
was
Wow,
sketch,
yeah.
man, for sure.
Maybe they made it easier, RT, because it doesn't look like these guys are.
No, they definitely made it easier. Those first couple of years. I busted a wheel on a CR500 on it in the second year they had it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was that big.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. And then what year do you remember them first having a national at Buds?
Man, I want to say 89, maybe 90.
Oh, yeah? Were you there?
I was at the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a 500, 125 race back when the series was split.
And then what did you think of the track when you first? Did you always like it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a cool track. It was a little bit. You notice how hard pack it is now. I almost think it was better this way than the way it is now. Now they disc it up and it's real soft, and it seems like it gets one rut around the whole track.
Right.
And kind of hard to pass and real one line. Back then, at least you had at least it got kind of hard pack, and you could do a couple different things with it.
Albie has eaten Emig's roost. Right, literally for 25 minutes right now.
This whole
like
race.
the whole race, he has been following Emig that close.
Everything you can.
Yeah, like come on, Greg, drop back if you ain't like. But I guess he wouldn't, right? He wouldn't drop back.
Look at the energy that Albie's using compared to Emig. Emig's just like la-di-da, I'm just
Yeah.
riding around.
And yeah, Albie's
Albie's just
grabbing
going hard as he can.
grabbing handfuls, right? Like he really seems to grab a lot of throttle.
Yeah, just
Coming.
elbows up, just getting it.
And is he gonna make it here? No. Emig outjumped him there, but maybe he's gonna sweep in. No, he doesn't.
No.
The
Had a little bit too much flex going in those forks.
look at that, Albie showing him the how they do it in the GPs. Emig right now is dead tired.
Oh,
Like he's just hanging on right now.
yeah.
It's crazy how too like not many spectators.
No, I didn't even notice that. You're right.
Take a look.
You're right.
The Nationals, I mean, everybody talks about how better it was back in the day, and everybody was better, and tracks were better, bikes were better. this sport has come a long way. This is filled with people now.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you can't.
It's the road on the way into the pits back then.
Right, right. And it's funny, like the crowds have been doubled in size, I would say, you know, from back in the day.
Yeah, I think, you know, motocross and supercross are so much more popular too. That helps. But yeah, you're right.
It's all sparse. People just kind of hanging out by the fences, checking it out. I liked. Oh, who's not? Oh, look who's coming! Look who's coming! Oh yeah,
beast from the east.
Oh yeah, he's coming.
In his Axo gear.
Dude, I was bummed as a fan that he couldn't come back and win. Yeah. Like I thought he was, RT. I was really like, it's over. These dudes are about to feel what it's like, you know, like. But I guess the sport, you just can't take a year off, or you know, almost 2 years for him.
Yeah,
you can't do it. You know,
and you know he was probably just having as much fun as he could those 2 years too.
Yeah, on his big Yamaha contract.
Yeah, I had a bunch of money. Why not?
It was kind of funny when I was at Yamaha, like McCarty and Oliver and John R. I would try to get them to tell me Bradshaw stories, and they wouldn't. They were still a little bitter. Like that '92 loss.
Yeah.
They don't really recall Damon in a great manner. Like, he broke a lot of hearts, I think.
Yeah,
you know, I could get him to.
That was Yamaha's big company.
Oh, Henry, casing it. Jeez. Oh,
my gosh.
Oh, Doug. What do you think happened there? Do you think he got throttle lock?
A little bit of whiskey throttle.
Really?
Man,
yeah.
But, you know, it was weird because I never noticed you saw that jump before it. He kind of cased the jump before, which kind of maybe just
like in his mind, he had to grab more throttle.
Yeah, he was probably like, man, he's going to pass me right here. I got to get on it. And then when he came into that little G-out section, maybe it just kind of threw him over the back and he was tired.
Dude.
I don't know.
I've raced this track. You've raced this track. That is crazy if you've ever been to Budds Creek.
You almost can't even describe what he just did if you haven't been over that jump.
Right.
You come up to that thing and you specifically tell yourself, all right, I need to kind of slow way down right here because you could do that.
Yeah. And
how big was that?
look at his shadow right here. You can see his shadow. LaRocco's like,
oh my God.
That privateer guy had the best view of it. Wonder who that was.
We need to find out.
Yeah. MC one time in an interview said he just couldn't believe it. Like he just looked up and just saw him skying, you know.
Yeah.
Last lap, so that he was tired and maybe just got a little whiskey.
You know, that was Doug Henry's heart too, right there. There was no way. You know, he kind of screwed up a little bit before it looked like, and he was not going to let MC pass him right there. He was going.
Right. And then, what do you think? It was a smart idea to stay on the bike, I guess, right? Better than letting go?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you got to try to ride it out. What do you jump off, you're going to be laying just like that anyways. You know?
Right. So you can somewhat less the suspension.
Maybe.
Look at Doug. Just broken back right here and knocked him out for a year.
I'm sure people listening have had this nightmare before. Haven't you ever had that nightmare where you just fly off a cliff? And
yeah.
That was it right there. That's the nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done it that bad. But I've definitely had, where you come over a dune or, whatever.
And you're just up there just like, rolling the windows down with your arms. Going,
I think it's rolling the windows up.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. The guys that's an insane crash. This is 1995, so this is how long ago?
Look at how close those top three are.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays the leader would be like 25 seconds in the lead usually.
Yeah, Fro hung in there.
He did.
He wasn't as tired as we thought. He hung in there strong.
Fro's riding style was so effortless. You know, he
was it?
Yeah. I mean, he was just such a good rider. None of us know how good of shape he was ever in, but he always assumed he wasn't in that great of shape. He didn't seem like
he would
a
have
trainer.
to be.
I mean,
you just don't go out and get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, the guy is gnarly.
Right. And Mike LaRocco celebrates his first win. Look at the fans all over there. I remember that.
Check that smile out.
I was those fans back at Millville, like in the early '90s. I was those kids right there.
You had your Broom Tioga shirt on, or flat
my
hat.
tie-dyed shirt. Doug's still down, and he's going to be down for a while.
Man.
On that. Oh, look at the MC. That's the MC you remember, right?
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him. Funny.
Earrings, ugly ass glasses, but
Dude, he looks like Navarro. What's
he
that?
does,
The
right?
Singer.
Dave
Yeah.
Navarro,
Yeah.
for sure.
And that was way back then. Navarro probably got the image from MC.
Copied MC.
Yep. He's got his, baby blue glasses.
Didn't he
on.
have his nipples pierced back then? I think he did.
Yeah. He's got the big earring going.
I know. I remember
sideburns.
I remember my dad was like, like he admired him, but he was telling, like, son, like, don't be like him, like, he's got earrings. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, look at Doug.
Giving the big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
But Doug, you're not okay. Your thumbs tell us you're okay, but you're not.
Yep.
That's definitely pretty gnarly. And Henry's getting carted off there. Flashback. Maybe you're in this one.
Oh,
RT.
No, these are 125.
Oh,
so
92.
Never,
You never rode one of those?
That's who do we got? 23's Tishner right there.
Yeah.
Was in the lead.
Yeah. And Fro.
Yeah.
Whole shot Fro,
on
really?
125.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? This year he was ripping, man.
Well, this is the year LaRocco lost that points lead.
Right there.
Carburetor fell off. He said he collided with Tishner and his carburetor got knocked out of the boot. And then his dad put it back in, but they didn't put it in good enough, and it kept coming out again and again.
Oh, look at
Look.
Mr. LaRocco is not happy.
Not known for his patience.
No.
And his
Never.
demeanor, his calm demeanor.
No, he can't. I came off the track at San Jose Supercross one time, and I thought he was going to rip my neck off because I got in LaRocco's way. It was.
When was that?
Comical.
When you were
geez, don't even ask me what
Okay,
year. I can't
all right.
even remember.
Here we are, Moto 2 on the line.
Yep, 29. That was Cliffy.
Yeah, there's Cliff.
Yeah,
And
he's ready.
it looks everybody's.
7-11.
Who's 71 there? I don't know. Daub, 16. The Dauber.
44 might have been Boyson.
Maybe
or
they could.
64.
Maybe
Dog
they go like a
Boyson,
little
one of
quicker
them.
down the line while we look at
Yeah.
it. Jeez.
Come on. We want to reminisce on old stuff here.
I know. I only went to Budds Creek 2 times with this start, and then after I went, they moved it to the other side, and then now they moved it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
There used to be a tractor down there. Whenever I raced there, everybody'd go behind it and pee.
Good times.
102 with JT Gear.
Billy Schlag.
Schlag.
Billy Schlag, who was a local.
He
a
was.
local.
He
Yep.
lived right around the
Look,
corner.
another crash.
Who do we got down?
I don't know. Maybe they should
No.
not show us. 59?
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh, Fro with the whole shot. Looking good. Another thing I remember when I think of Fro and Yamaha in these years were the Illuminite bars, which had just come out, and they were like blew your mind because they had no crossbar. It was just amazing.
The Illumilites, and I remember the very
Or Pro
one of-
Tapers, I should say, not Illuminates. Pro
w-
Tapers.
One of the very first races he crashed going at Gainesville and broke it. And I remember him hiding them and
Oh yeah,
trying to get it off the side. Yeah, yeah.
these are not the bars. These bars are are indestructible.
Those things were good though, really good.
I know. You know what's funny is people say oh, look at that move. Almost like Fro gave it to him a little bit, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty weak effort there.
Right?
Must not have known. How couldn't he have his first lap?
Right? Yeah. But MC was now with Henry's crash. Jeremy was in control of the series now. Look at Schlag, 10th place.
Look at that, 102.
I wonder how they.
Palmer 7th, Cliffy
Yeah.
on it.
And Albie's in the mix again. And then we got LaRocco, Bradshaw.
DeHoop. The MX
What's wrong with
kid.
Kardowski today? On this day, there's Dowd. Look at that. We've never seen Dowd all
Was
day.
that Dowd?
14. Yeah. What happened to John Dowd?
Why isn't he up there? In
Right.
this race?
Right.
This was it.
That's weird. That's bizarre. He's factory Yamaha. Telling you, the guys would launch that. They would triple that thing today. But yeah, it still doesn't look like there's a lot of track maintenance in between motos.
No, none.
Look at MC just grabbing the brakes
Yeah.
right there.
He's rolling that now.
Yeah, pretty much.
He should, after witnessing what he witnessed.
Oh, poor Doug. Crazy, right? Look at
at-
Fro. Yeah. But I think at this point, MC's got him covered. Like, he knows he's not too worried about
Right.
it, you know?
right. He's got the points.
And the next year, Fro would win the title after MC hurt himself at Millville.
I was, no offense to Emig, but I was pretty bummed out about that.
Why?
Just because it affected my points. It's all
affected
it's
your
all about
points.
Me. Yeah, because if Jeremy would have won the title, I would have had a top 20 number, and because he didn't, I didn't.
Really?
It like booted me out.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird how the points.
Oh, because MC got a regular number instead of number 1.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Ah.
Exactly.
So it booted you out of the top 20.
It booted me. I would have had 29. I had 30. You know.
Yeah.
That was kind of a big deal back then.
I wish they went back to that old system where you earned your numbers. It was better.
It was so cool.
It was better. Although Tim Ferry would now be a 3-digit guy. But I wouldn't be too pumped on that. But no, I liked it better. I liked seeing who the new numbers were, who gained, who lost.
It was exciting. Totally.
And
totally.
And you know,
Short would have been number 1, I think, last year or something, wouldn't he?
Yeah,
Didn't he score more
year
points
before.
than anybody?
Year before, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, he would have been number 2. He's not gonna be number 1 because
the champion.
The champs always were number 1, but still he would have been number 2. Yeah, and that would have been cool. And you know, I mean, no offense to guys like Sellards and Renard and Lamson, but they hung on so long and took their numbers. And Mike Brown, you know, guys want those numbers, man. Like it's sort of. Look at Albie coming in.
Yeah, Albie's on it.
How did he ever do this year? I don't think he ever won, did he? No, he never won. He didn't start winning till.
Yeah, I don't think he won any that year.
You know, the year he won his title, he only won 3 races. I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it's better than not 3, but he wasn't really the dominant rider that year. He just won 3 races.
He was very consistent.
Yeah, very consistent the whole way. And if you kind of think about it, it's like the last year that
Has anybody won a national title and like not won a race?
Yeah, Bale. 91, won 250s.
Bale?
Bale didn't win a national that year.
You're kidding me.
Nope. You know how he won his title? He got second at a Hangtown Mutter, and no one else finished. His main guys. No one else of his main guys finished. There's Steve Butler. I worked with him at Yamaha. He was a Yamaha R&D guy, Australian.
Still there, still doing it.
I believe Brian Lunas called INS on him back in the day. That was really cool of Lunas to do that. But anyways, loved Fro too. Worked Fro forever.
Yeah.
Fro loved him, and they still talk about this bond they had, this magical bond when they were a mechanic.
Butler's awesome. He still is to this day. Such a nice guy.
He is. He is. And there goes MC right by Emig. And Albie's staying strong. Well, look at that. See the bump kick Emig up? Like, oh, I guess I got to stand up now.
Look at the difference in suspension.
Totally lower.
Yeah.
And that's what Bailey's pointing out right now on the audio. Totally lower on the ground. So you're telling me that bike, there is no difference between a 93 and that bike? Swing arm, frame.
Frame and swing arm, and well, the linkage was a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
They used a works linkage that was a real flat ratio, and the shock would bottom out real easy. But those acceleration bumps you just saw when Emig and
just soak it up.
It was incredible the traction that linkage let you have.
Right.
Really good. The reason they didn't ever use it for production is because the bike would bottom out in G-outs and off big jumps, which was, you know, if you're a racer, you know, that's fine. It can bottom out.
Yeah.
But for production, they couldn't have it do that because it would, you know, wear out the frames and.
So there is a. You're telling me that the OEMs sometimes develop better things for production bikes, but can't use them just for different reasons.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, all the production bikes go through a huge maintenance schedule where they'll do durability testing on them, and if any little thing is even close to breaking or looking like it's going to break, they can't use it. And, you know, it goes right down to the linkage. If the bike's bottoming out a bunch, even if there's, you know, they're not even really supposed to have tire wear on the rear fender for production. Honda,
oh, really?
Honda used to make a big deal out of that.
Yeah. Like they just didn't want that. It's not good for customers to feel that. Meanwhile, the racers are like, for sure, they want it to sit low and traction. And
absolutely, yeah. I mean,
interesting.
If you hit something big and it bottoms out, well, it's kind of supposed to. You know, you're using all your suspension.
I'm kind of not surprised LaRocco's not winning because, I mean, let's face it, he did just come. Wait, did we miss Fro crashing?
Did Fro go down? I didn't see that.
I don't think they showed us that. Something happened to Fro. He dropped back. Emig's LaRocco, Albertine's in front of him. LaRocco's in front of him. and MC's probably checked out at this point. But Jack's rough.
Track's real rough. They didn't groom it between motos, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, for a first race back, LaRocco's putting in some good motos, no doubt about it.
Another guy that's, LaRocco was just gnarly. Didn't matter. When was he not like, when did you ever see him just mid-pack riding around the moto? I don't think ever.
No. Yeah. No. He's always.
Maybe the first lap.
I just watched an old Supercross the other day. I'm going to do one of these with someone else, and he was literally like 10th on the first lap, and by lap 16 he was in third.
Right.
Like just.
And wasn't that like every race that year probably, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Jonathan Beasley's got some good prime spot for Mountain Dew right there. No doubt big money in that Mountain Dew contract.
Absolutely.
Do you think, like, if you were MC and you saw your teammate eat crap like that, would it affect you at all or no? I mean, would you? Because that's scary.
It's got to affect you somewhat. You got to just be like, oh, my gosh.
Right?
Like, but, these, I don't know. One thing I've learned about a lot of the top guys that I've worked with and that I've met, they think so much different than kind of normal people.
Mm-hmm.
Their emotions don't really get to them. I mean, take LaRocco. He could win the championship and he'll kind of smile and be like, yeah.
Right.
And he can lose the championship and he kind of is pissed off, but if I won the championship, I'd be doing backflips and taking everybody to party that night, and it would be all over the news because I'd be going crazy.
Right, be all over the news.
But a lot of these top guys don't let their emotions really affect them. They're like machines. They just go. I've really noticed that a lot with a lot of the top guys.
I'll tell you why you never became a top guy. I already kind of know.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I know about top racers too. They don't really know. They don't not idolize any. They don't know the old racers. They don't follow. They're not fans of the sport.
Yeah.
And like you are, like you grew up with this, and you're very knowledgeable about all this stuff. I guarantee you, when you were out racing, and if you were racing Jeff Emig, you were probably thinking, "Oh my God, I'm racing Jeff Emig."
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
These guys don't think like that. They do not think like that. They don't know or respect their competitors enough, I think. I'm not saying that's the only reason. I have 100% found that.
It's so true, and it's all part of what I was saying about letting your emotions get to you. They're just, winners are they're kind of that way. They, I'd get on the line next to Jeremy, and I was his buddy, and I'd be like, oh, shit, what am I going to do here? And it took me, till like most of my career before I was finally like, oh, it's just another person. Let's just go,
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think
I felt like I was a really good rider. We'd go out and test, and I had DeCoster one time tell me Honda testing that I should be winning races. And why aren't I winning races? Because when I test with these guys, and when we do durability testing, my lap times were every bit as fast as theirs, if not faster, every single time.
Right.
But then I'd get to the race, and I'd be getting lapped on the fifth lap, and that was me.
Oh, you just said no one could pass there.
Look at that.
Look at that.
He just got inside him and
sticking inside of Mike.
him.
Mike's probably really happy about that right now.
Yeah, what's LaRocco's got to come back.
Oh, you would think so. Oh, you would think so. Even if it's his first race back.
Yeah, maybe if he was healthy, he'd be coming in hot one of these turns right here.
Yeah, I don't think you're doing that to him if he's, in the groove. So, to summarize what we were talking about, I think these guys are kind of dumb. I mean, they're to their surroundings and to what's going on. They're not intimidated. They don't think about it. They're just, they're like machines. And
they are. They're like machines. I wouldn't go so far as to say totally dumb, and I don't think you mean that.
No, I don't mean it that way.
But absolutely, they're definitely like machines. It's just about emotions. I really don't think they let their emotions get to them at all.
Yeah. And then after DeCoster told you that, you went and tried to hang yourself probably because you were like, oh, man.
DeCoster used to be so cool to me. I tested a lot, at Honda when he was there, and he, he was just always really, really nice to me. And, he brought me over to Suzuki when he went. And
oh, was he? Like, he was the reason why? Like
he was a big part of it, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And, when we would test, I was pretty fast. I went good when we tested, and he recognized that. And He's just like, you should be able to win races, man.
LaRocco's so mad right now watching Emig pull away. Like, he's so mad. Emig stands for everything he's not in a racer.
Exactly.
He's just powerless right now to stop him. He just can't even. But MC, yeah, a perfect day here. Well, not really. I guess 2-1. But pretty much.
Bad. Look at him. He's just cruising around. He's like on a Sunday ride. Effortless.
Yeah, this is the MC that, Fox gear, yellow, Red Rider gear,
Oh, yeah. That was badass back then. Number 3.
Did he, what bar band did he use? Always use the same bar bands and everything?
I think they were 966s.
Yeah, and he always just
They
ran
were,
it.
yeah, Renthal 966s, I think, was the number.
And here he comes, coming up to grab the overall.
Yeah.
And the party is on the night in Waldorf, Maryland.
You know it. You know it.
I remember when he switched to Spy, I think this year.
Was
maybe
it
the year
that year
before.
from Oakley to
Yeah.
Spy?
That was a big deal.
That was
Moto 2 results, Albie.
Yeah.
Good job.
Albie busted up into second.
See, Bradshaw went
Look
like
at Bradshaw.
5-5 on the day. Like,
Yeah.
We didn't really learn too much about Bradshaw and his comeback. Oh. Where was Larry Ward all day? Where was John Dowd all day?
Dowdy, we showed none of Dowdy. What's up with that? Check the hairdo. Flock
Yeah.
of seagulls right there.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd like to get a first place. He just said, no doubt he would. That's probably his best moto of the year, though, I bet, because I don't remember him ever getting seconds.
I don't know. I think he was up there.
His
He was
first-
always battling. He just remember that year he crashed a ton.
Yeah, first race, he broke his wheel. I remember that, Gainesville, and it was like a big deal because it was, he was going to come over and show everybody what was up. No, DeCoster thought so anyways. 1-1-1.
Yeah.
3 world titles. I like how he tries to fit in, though, bringing the Biaffi gear.
The Biaffi
Yeah.
gear. I was gonna comment on the Biaffi gear. Yeah, that stuff was.
Yeah.
You come from Europe, you're trying to make an image,
And you wear Biaffi.
I think didn't he wear a Biaffi helmet?
He
too,
did.
which was probably the dorkiest looking helmet ever.
Manley.
Ever.
10th overall. Brian Manley. Who'd ever thunk it?
He was the man. Back
And he's
then.
3-digit here, but he had been 2-digit, so he had a bad year, and he still comes back as a 3-digit.
Yeah.
He probably earns another great number.
Yeah. There used to be a practice track by Budds Creek called Quasco, and it was the funnest track I think I've ever ridden. It was part of it was sand, the rest of it was loam that went up through these trees. It was so much fun. We used to stay there and just ride for like 2 weeks because it was so good.
Yeah. I don't remember that. I don't remember anybody ever. doing that.
Norfolk, his mechanic lives right down the street from that.
Yeah. The Norfolks are from there. And Pastrana's not far away either, from what I know.
Yeah.
But look at that. Henry, he was right around the points lead. See, Kardowski's 3rd. He just had a bad day.
Yeah, look at Dowd, he was 4th.
Right.
Come on.
That's kind of weird. Well,
Kyle in 7th? We didn't see any of Kyle hardly.
yeah, they really focus on too many other guys here, I don't think. But, hey,
One of the years before this, just real quick, we were at Norfolk's. We were all staying there. It was when Jeremy was still on peak. And Jeremy Buell was there, and the Smale was there, Lance Smale.
yeah.
And Grayson Goodman. Man, there was Cliff Palmer. There was a bunch of us, and we had these mini bike races out. And Norfolk has this huge grass lawn out in front of their house, and they had this old Z50, but one of the super old ones with no suspension, nothing.
Right.
And we had these timed mini bike races out there, and we ended up blowing the rear wheel up, and Norfolk's dad made a wheel spacer and bearing out of wood. And we were out there till 3 in the morning
Trying to beat the
trying
time.
to beat each other's time on this thing, just crashing our brains out. And this is going to be no surprise to you, but Jeremy was the fastest every time.
Yeah.
He would beat us.
With the
And
wooden
there was-
bearings.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, he was just racing me. There
Right.
was
No.
other full-blown,
Didn't matter.
factory
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
and he's still on this old piece of crap. Z50 would beat everybody.
Oh, man.
It was good times for
Yeah.
sure, though.
Well, hey, thanks for doing the Pulpmx commentary. Look back at 95 Butts Creek. Thanks, RT.
Absolutely. We'll do it again.